Welcome to One Stop Web Solutions YouTube channel. I'm your host George Stamores. So today we're going to be discussing a video called Creating SEO-friendly Content Tips and Best Practices. So there are 5 main sections to this particular video. The first is understanding user intent. The second is optimizing content structure. The third is incorporating target keywords naturally. The fourth is enhancing visual content. And the fifth is monitoring performance and iterating. Right? So the first one is understanding user intent. Right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go down like this. Oh, hang on. Video capture device. Yep, down here. Move that there. Right. Cool. Alright, so the first one is understanding user intent. Now, what I mean by that is that let's just say I am interested in promoting a game called Total War Warhammer 3. Right? And I'm going to we'll search for all locations. This tool is Ubersuggest, by the way. It's a really, really great tool. So we're going to search all locations. Now, if you were in ChatGPT before and you created your target avatar, you'll know things about your target avatar. But what's very, very useful is, for instance, right? When I say understanding user intent, what I mean is why are they searching for this particular key phrase? So, if you go into Ubersuggest here, you'll see here that you've got suggestions related and you've got questions. Now, suggestions will show you all the keywords that are related to this particular group. So if we click on view all keyword ideas down here, what we're really after is these are related key phrases. It's organized them by total search volume. But what you want to do is you want to go into questions here. And so these are not really... Yeah, like this one. Is Total War Warhammer 3 worth it? Right? This is probably a very good key phrase to write an article about because there's a bit of search traffic for it. Stuff like that, or the Total War Warhammer 3 roadmap. Okay, that's old. But the point is that can I run Total War Warhammer 3? That might prompt you to write an article about the requirements, the minimum specs. Same with this. Is Total War Warhammer 3 good? So these questions are really, really good at understanding search intent, right, which is what we were talking about here. So it addresses the needs, questions, and interests of your target audience, right? So that's an example of how you would do that using the Ubersuggest tool. The next one is optimizing content structure. Well, what this refers to is on-page optimization. So if I go into my blog, and I look at this particular article here, Total War Warhammer 3 Guide for Beginners, and I click on Edit. Now, if you're using WordPress, there's an awesome tool called Yoast SEO. And what you'll see here is that if we scroll all the way down, right? If we scroll all the way down, the focus key phrase for this article is Total War Warhammer 3 Guide, right? Now, if you go into Yoast SEO and you go down to the analysis, it'll actually tell you what to do. But essentially, since our phrase is Total War Warhammer 3 Guide, right, you'll see here that what I've done is we've got the article title is called Total War Warhammer 3 Guide. Remember, this is the key phrase, right? It's this one here. You'll notice that in the article title, in the first 30 words, you got the keyword here again, right? And then we've got various headings. Total War Warhammer 3 Guide, Managing Income. And then we've got subheadings. And then what I've done is I've sprinkled it in here. You don't want to do it on every single heading because it gets annoying to read. You've sort of got to find that balance between doing it naturally and it becoming overly repetitive, right? So yeah, you'll see I've got it in the headings here. Now, one of the important things about this is Google understands synonyms. So what that means is you don't necessarily need to use the exact phrase all the time. You can use like a synonym of it. Like TWW3, Google is smart enough to know that this is a synonym of Total War Warhammer 3. Right? So you'll see here we've got the various guides. You'll also see here that I've created other articles that have got the link Total War Warhammer 3 linking to another part. And then we've got our conclusion here with the guide. So that's what they mean by on-page optimization. You'll notice here that the actual URL for the web for that particular page is Total War Warhammer 3 guide. And you'll notice here in the description, I've got the phrase Total Warhammer 3 guide here. Now, so you'll see here that I've put in images. Did I put in images? Oh yeah, and I've also got a featured image, right? Now, if you actually have a look at this featured image in the media library, you'll actually see that the alt text for it is Total Warhammer 3 guide feature image. So I've gotten the keyword in the actual. And when you're doing alt images, you don't just want to be stuffing keywords in there. It needs to actually explain to somebody who can't see and is using accessibility features what the actual image is. But as long as you're explaining what the image is for, like, it works perfectly. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about optimizing content headings, headings, subheadings, bullet points, right? So you could have, like, you'll notice here I've got a little list up here of internal links that are linking to different parts of the page. So very, very useful. Okay. So that was that point. The next point is incorporating target keywords naturally, which naturally flows on into the previous point, which is you want to try to make your key phrases, your target key phrases, you want to try to insert them naturally. You don't want to overdo it. Like you'll see here, I did it with the main title and the main headings. I didn't put it like in every single one of these, right? Only where it was relevant, right? Yeah, so that's very, very important. You want to make sure that your target key phrases are included naturally, right? Oh, I need to fix that. Just quickly fix that. No, I didn't see that. Yeah, it's going to update. Okay, cool. Now, the last one is monitoring performance and iterating. So the way that you do this is you can do it from Google Analytics. What you're basically looking for is, like, if you go to Google Search Console and you go to search results in performance, you'll actually see here what your website's showing up for. So you can see here my website is showing up for a video game called Rogue Lords is getting the largest number of clicks and impressions. So it might be a good idea to actually... this game is quite old, but it's interesting, right? Because these are a whole bunch of impressions. So the impressions is the amount of time that it appeared in the search results to people. Clicks is how many times it clicked through. So this Rogue Lord's Best Team might actually be something for me to write an article about for this particular blog. Now, Rogue Lords is a video game. So the fifth point is basically using Google Analytics and the Google Search Console to basically measure your performance metrics such as traffic, engagement, and rankings to sort of evaluate like how your content strategy is going, and it also gives you new targets of where you can go next. Because I mean, one of the things about SEO is you've got to be constantly creating content. You've got to be creating content on a regular basis. If you're doing SEO, you're a content creation machine. That's what you are, right? You create content. Now you need to create good content. You can't just use like AI tools to write content for you, because it's not going to necessarily be that good. And the other thing is it might not necessarily be that unique. So even if you get content from like AI, you sort of need to rewrite it. AI is really good for like coming up with video ideas and stuff like that, but you shouldn't use it to write content. Like all this content I wrote myself, right? But yes, so you can use ChatGPT to create content, but then you got to rewrite it to make it more human. So this was our video guide to creating SEO friendly content tips and best tips and practices. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. If you're interested in a course on how to create websites with no coding, link in the description below. Yes, and if you're interested in working with us, our number is in the description below. You can also find our website, once.websolutions.com. .com.au, sorry. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.